Good Monday morning, everyone, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It's been frigid cold here in the eastern Tennessee portion of the Appalachian region, and we're down into single digits 2 nights in a row, but probably will keep the bug population down somewhat come the spring. We had a pretty hard freeze here for a couple of days now. Anyway, I had a great weekend. I had an opportunity to meet with and get some questions answered by our Tennessee's Congresswoman, Diana Hochberger. And she's a wonderful person with a lot going on her plate with regard to trying to get some HRs passed in the House, which are, according to her, the funding situation is probably about 85% funded, but it's being held up by Schumer in the Senate for whatever reason we don't know. But she feels it's because they're not getting their Ukraine money that they're asking for as part of this continuing resolution that they're passing to keep the government open. In my estimation, I think they should let it shut down. But she says that they're 85% funded. So what is the holdup in the Senate other than the Schumer-Pelosi Act that they've pulled now for several years with this continuing resolutions, with all this pork added into it for various things that our taxpayer money should not be going to support? And she agreed that it should not be going to support the Ukraine. The situation that at the border is tantamount to an invasion by a bunch of people from 100 different countries that have no business coming here reaching for asylum or any other entrance into the United States other than the legal process that is needed to garner entry the way it should be. She also made mention about, the EV situation that Biden is pushing for everybody to be in an EV car by 2030. Well, she admits, and the Congress is full well aware, that there is no infrastructure to support that. In this cold snap that we've experienced here, there's a lot of them by the side of the road that are not operating properly because the lithium batteries that are used do not like cold weather, and they lose a lot of their oomph to get you down the road. The EV trucks that Ford put out are not selling well. Ford is perplexed about what they're going to do with the inventory they have. But again, these EV trucks, if you put a trailer on, your energy level goes down because you're pulling something with it. And if you buy a pickup truck, you don't buy it for show. You buy it for either carrying things in it or towing your boat or trailer or whatever it is, RV, that you want to get places with. Now, cutting from 500-mile radius down to 250 miles, if you're going on vacation pulling a camper, where are you going to find the charging stations? You're going to vacation according to where a charging station exists? And they're not working in the cold weather, these charging stations, I'm told. But we had an interesting conversation about government and who's doing what. As far as the border is concerned, she told us that they did meet with Biden, and Biden's answer to them was, yeah, I guess I have to do something. But nothing is being done. We're not closing the border. We're not looking to find out where these 10-plus million people, in some cases, probably 100,000 of them are, we don't know where they are. We don't know what they're doing. We have incidents like happened at the base in Alaska where these Chinese nationals were caught trying to break through the fence with a van that had explosives in it and several other items of destruction. And when they were caught, they said, "Oh, well, we were lost. We didn't know where we were." Well, this is what's coming through the border. This is what's remaining unchecked. Congress is aware of it. Congress has passed a number of bills that are sitting, collecting dust in the Senate. And I urge you all to contact your senator, whether he's Republican, whether he's Democrat, whether he's an independent, and demand that they do their job. Let's not hold up this country with the threat of fear that something will happen destruction-wise if we don't refund the government and refund the Ukraine, where we have sent billions of dollars in money and equipment there that are unaccounted for. Why do we continue to do this? It's beyond me. It's not good, and it continues on a daily basis. The other few things that she talked about was they're looking into the fact that the Veterans Administration are being used to give health care and services to these border crashers that are coming through. So if that's true, she said that they are looking into it. They have staffers that are full-time looking into this situation. We don't know that it's true. It's rumored that this is happening, but they are looking into it, and it was nice to hear that we still have some people in Congress that are actually doing what we sent them there to do. And she is one of them. And I would vote for her every time, hands down, because she's a really genuine person that really cares about her community, that she cares about her state, and she cares about our country. This is a rarity when you get into looking at the squad and that bunch that lock themselves up on a different floor and make all these rules and come out with anti-Semitic statements and get away with it and things of that nature. But, you know, we know now we have two rules of law, laws that apply to, one side of the aisle that don't apply to the other side of the aisle. And just look what they're doing with Trump. They're still on. My biggest fear with Donald Trump running again was the fact that they're going to try to do all over again what they did in his last term, and just keep this up. And that's coming out of the Schumer bunch that just can't stand the looking at maybe being held accountable for the gravy train that they sit on. This is not what we elected them to do, but we keep putting them back in there. So let's take a look at what's really going on behind the curtain. It's the Senate that has shut down these bills that are coming out of Congress that are good bills that are needed to save this country in financial realms as well as others. But if you look at the fact that we spend money like drunken sailors here, it's not helping the situation at all. So we have to get somebody with fiscal responsibility to look at the purse strings, spend the money on America first, and forget funding any more wars and things of that nature that is going on right now. Speaking of, Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the race, so it's down to two people now on the Republican side, and that's Nikki Haley and Donald J. Trump. Nikki Haley has made some, in my estimation, some serious statements and mistakes on this campaign trail that she's on about. She's campaigning against Donald Trump, not to be elected to an office. She's campaigning against the person that's running against her. That's never a good thing. He's guilty of the same thing, don't get me wrong. I'm not an overwhelmed fan of Donald J. Trump. However, right now, between those two, there's little choice to be had. We have one that is completely funded by the left agenda and BlackRock and organizations such as BlackRock that is funding her campaign, and she will owe them. And I don't want a president sitting in the Oval Office that owes somebody anything. We have that now. We have a president that owes China. He owes the Ukraine. And God knows where else their money is going to lead us. That said, she also said that the Congress has now gotten the bank records of the Biden family, and it's very evident that there's some things going on, so I would expect the impeachment inquiry to move forward in the House anyway, and that's coming at us. So we have that to look forward to again. And New Hampshire takes place this week, so we'll find out what the people in New Hampshire are thinking. We know what the people in Iowa thought. So let's wait and see what Nikki Haley is going to come up with. But it'll be more of the same. Trust me. I personally do not trust her to be running our country, unfortunately. That said, you all are entitled to who you like and who you want to vote for. But as I've said in the past, please ask the questions and ask for their solutions to the questions, not talking points. It was a pleasure to listen to a speech given by Congresswoman Harshbarger yesterday to a veterans group here. And I just love the fact that she didn't have talking points. This group had sent her the question list ahead of her arrival, and she came in and answered each and every one of those questions with integrity. And no talking points were covered. She was truthful, upfront, and just a lovely person. So why can't they all be that way? Because they're too busy involved in partisan politics, which we've had enough of. Let's see what else is there to talk about today. There's a few things going on with the Houthis, and we are fighting back first and foremost against the shipping lane rockets and missiles that are being fired at not only our warships but our merchant ships, which is causing a problem already. They're saying there's going to be a shortage of products, there's going to be a shortage of this and a shortage of that because the ships cannot pass through the Red Sea, the Hormuz Straits. Here we go again. It's transportation related, so it's all due to the fact that there's a war between Israel and Hamas. Guess what, folks? It's not our war. And I don't blame Israel for fighting back. And it also came clear through the Congresswoman yesterday. The question was asked about, what was going on over there in the Middle East and why these children are out there and people are out there supporting Palestine people. And under the mistaken thought that this hospital that was bombed was done and killed civilians. Well, guess what came out of the Congresswoman's speech yesterday? That hospital was blown up by Hamas to make you believe that those Israeli people are really bad. Well, that's not what happened. And these people that are out there with those flags and crying the blues about the mistreatment of the Palestinian people need to have an education, because they don't really understand the history of that whole region and what's going on. We have a powder keg sitting there, and Iran is lighting the fuse. And we all know that, but we have to take a warlike attitude toward all this to keep the machine running. We don't necessarily need to be involved in that situation or the Ukraine situation, but we continue to stay involved, stay supporting it. Not a good deal. What else is going on? The weather is going to come into a warm spell here in the Appalachians the next week or two. They're talking about 60-degree weather coming in for the January thaw after this big freeze, bringing in rain, which means in some places we'll have some flooding going on with the snow melt, the ice melt, and the rain on top of that. May be bad, but let's see. Not a whole lot going on over the weekend. You know, this business with the shooting that took place on the movie set with Alec Baldwin, which went to trial once and I guess was relegated that he was not guilty. Now they're going to retry him under the same thing. I don't know what happened to the double jeopardy law. I don't know what happened on that movie set. I don't know that he pulled the trigger. I have no idea of what really happened. But here we go again. Now we have a trial coming up again for Alec Baldwin. We know that on occasion he's been a little bit of a nasty person to some people. So maybe this is payback. I don't know why they're going to bring this up again and force us to listen to more of that. I don't have a whole lot more to tell you. We'll be out and about testing some areas for doing some tour filming. When the weather breaks here, we should be out and about doing that. I showed you some of the snow pictures and some ponds around the property during the snowstorm, and hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. I love the outdoors. I love the mountains. I love our region, and it's always fun to be out and about doing that. But we'll get out to some smaller towns around. There's a lot going on that needs to be promoted, and that's what Soho Promotions do. So hang in there, and hopefully we'll be getting some of the outside stuff to you real soon. But here from the studio today, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to the Kaiser Report. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, because we'll bring you lots more. And don't forget to hit the like button and ring that bell. And if you have comments, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on some of these things, and I would be more than happy to discuss them on the air or with you privately. So keep in mind that the comment situation is open for you to make your comments good, bad, or indifferent. I look forward to seeing them all. So don't forget to hit the like button, ring the bell, and give us some comments. And we're here for you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of this Monday. God bless you all. And with that, I'm going to trip on out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow.